Well, hey, what's going on? Nick Kirby here with Chatterbox Reds. Before we get to today's interview, I want to send a special thanks to our friends at 1410 Wing AM. That's ESPN Radio in Dayton. Justin Kenner was so kind to partner with Chatterbox Sports for some exclusive interviews down at Redsfest that I am really excited for you all to get to see. Be sure to check out the Justin Kenner Show with Kev Nash. That is 3 to 6 on 1410 Wing AM in Dayton. And as always, special thanks to our proud sponsor of Chatterbox Reds, DSC Commodities. DSC is a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. Thanks so much to John and everyone down at DSC for partnering here with Chatterbox Reds. All right. Well, here's to today's interview.
From Redsfest. Reds fans, 1410 Wing AM is Dayton's radio home of the Cincinnati Reds. We now send you live to the Duke Energy Convention Center.
Fans, let's do this. We are live here at the Duke Energy Convention Center. It's Reds Fest. Justin Kenner, Nick Kirby from Chatterbox Sports partnering up together for today. Pretty excited about this. Nick, you've been to Reds Fest, but first time doing the program here at Reds Fest.
Yeah, really excited to be here with you, Justin, today. Great energy here so far. Looking forward to this event today.
Wanted to see how long we could talk without bringing on Mr. Phil Castellini, who's been
How we doing, guys?
We're doing great.
How's Dayton doing?
Oh, it's outstanding.
Plenty of time to still get down here to Reds Fest from Dayton.
The traffic was not bad on the way in today.
That's right.
Pulled right up to a parking spot. It was very clean on the way in.
That's
so
good.
There you
Easy
go.
flow.
But Reds Fest, we were talking a little bit before we went live, of course, and the vibe from last year to this year, it's just night and day difference. I mean, when I pulled in right now, there was a line of people waiting to get in right as it opened a little bit ago. Just the buzz and excitement surrounding the Cincinnati Reds right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It was a breakout year, and we've been talking for a while about building this system from within, bringing these guys up, and to watch them all, frankly, a little bit early. I think coming up last year, and you saw as they kind of came up one at a time, adding another piece to it. And what's fun is they come up together in the minors, right? So by the time they get here, they've got a familiarity, relationships, and great chemistry, and that just played through the rest of the season. And it's just great energy, and it was the right team to be bringing to the game with the game changing the rules and shortening the game in the way that we did. I just think it was a perfect marriage of those paradigm shifts in our industry and this team coming up at that time. It was just a good fun, and I think that energy is continuing into Reds Fest, into the fandom, and hopefully into next year's performance.
So obviously as a front office, you're never going to go into a season and say, we're going to be a 100-loss team this season. That's never something that you guys say. But last year, from the expectations going in of what it could have been, considering how young the roster was, from the expectations going into what ended up, what was that gap? I mean,
well,
what was that gap?
There was an assumed progression,
Yep.
not as quick as it was there. Because, again, this is a process that takes time. And so it was a pleasant surprise that it was quicker and those guys coming up as they did. So it was a pleasant surprise for everybody, fans and the front office alike. And so, but now you see there's a confidence and chemistry in this clubhouse that these guys are ready to take on the world. And I think we've got a lot of sunny days ahead. And these guys are all dialed in. And they've got one goal, and that's to bring a championship trophy back here to Cincinnati.
Phil, I maybe see a lot of parallels between like 2009 into 2010 with kind of where the Reds are now. Do you kind of see that and feel that with like this core that you have now?
Well, yeah, and with this commit, right, you can see the progression, right? You can see the pipeline, and that's really what we've had. And then also bringing in pieces like Martinez along the way. That's what you're going to continue to do to fill gaps and put the rest of the puzzle pieces together. But, the most important thing is these guys are playing hard. They're playing the game the right way. We've got speed. We've got defense. We've got offense. We're, improving the pitching. So I think, keeping everybody healthy, it's the right mix. It's the right chemistry. It's the right energy every day, every play, every inning. That's Cincinnati baseball. That's what we've been chasing a long time.
What's wild about it, too, is in baseball, you you don't see a team made up of predominantly rookies. You don't see them have success from a win-loss perspective on the field, and that's what made – I think we're going to look back at last season. I think we all know how special it was, but I think years from now we're going to look back at how rare that is for the Reds to accomplish what they did last year.
No question, and I think they brought the youthful energy, but I thought they had a maturity that was advanced for the age of the guys, and then they played off each other in that regard, and so I think that's going to bode well moving forward for sure.
Phil, I wanted to ask you, one of the interesting things going on in baseball and Cincinnati dynamics is the regional sports networks and kind of how the landscape of the media is changing. How has that kind of been challenging from the Reds' perspective?
Well, there's just a change of how people are consuming media content, and we've seen it coming. I think it came a little faster than everybody expected. And so I think you've got a shift happening in that market, and we're just going to have to adapt to that shift. We've got a great partner in Valley, and as long as they're going to be a partner, they're going to continue to produce a great broadcast for us. But, you can read the stuff out there. If there's a change that has to be made there, we're going to adapt to that change. We're going to bring the same great quality broadcast to our fans, and we'll just adapt as some of the other teams have already had to do. But right now we're, stay the course, but you have to adapt to the shift, and people want to consume it where and how they want to consume it, and we'll adapt to that.
I also wanted to ask you about, you guys opened a Dominican Summer League last year. Seems like you guys have, or an academy, I'm sorry. Seems like you guys have shifted more towards international scouting and development. Has that kind of been a emphasis?
Big time, and just moved to a new academy, and we're refurbishing it now, putting a lot of money down there, and that's a huge part of the pipeline. So making a big investment in the Dominican and the academy down there. We've got a great staff down there. We've got some great scouts doing great work, and so that's a huge part of what we're doing. A lot of teams are investing a lot of money down there, and we're doing our share to make ours the best that it can be for our team, and it's a beautiful complex to begin with, and then we're doing a significant renovation over the next 18 months.
Why do some teams invest heavily in that department and other teams are a little kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out? What is so important that the Reds have been so aggressive as far as that's concerned?
That's where the talent is, right? I think we've got. I think you're finding talent from everywhere, but there's no question that the talent is there. And I will tell you, there won't be any team with a foot out. I mean, you play the tape forward 3 years, everybody's making huge investments in the Dominican, and they'll continue to do that. So I think that's just, that's one of those things that you got to do to develop the talent, and that's where a lot of the talent is, and it's the appropriate place to be making an investment.
Last offseason, the Reds extended Hunter Green. What's your kind of thoughts on extending maybe some of the other young players?
You guys are going to have to wait to talk to Nick about that. I think it might be time to transition into some ballpark chatter.
That's fair.
You guys are taking me down a hole that is not my hole to dive in.
So, Ellie De La Cruz, when are you guys going to sign him? No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
We're good. We'll get
back to the ballpark.
Yes,
yeah.
Back to the ballpark we go. Obviously every year we talk about some of the changes or any kind of renovations that are made to the ballpark. It's always adapting. What are some of the key highlights and projects, if you will?
Well, I'll start with our BetMGM partnership. That's been great. We had them in a temporary location in the ballpark at the machine room. That's always been a challenging space for us, and it was a place to get that started, but obviously not ideal. We were working on a different location for the last year. We acquired the space across the street where Galo Park used to be, and MGM's been in there for a couple months. We have partnered with Nation Kitchen and Bar that just opened their bar last night, and the full restaurant service is going to be open in the coming weeks, but that's going to be a phenomenal location, a great partnership with both BetMGM and Nation, so that's going to be a great thing right across the street from the ballpark. Moving into the ballpark, we are redoing our Diamond Club for the first time, really, gutting it and redoing it for the first time since the ballpark opened. More seats inside. We never had as many seats inside as outside, so that was always a challenge. The buffet was kind of a challenge to get people through, and so doing a major renovation down there for the first time since the ballpark opened. We're really excited about that. Lexus is still our sponsor down there. But the most interesting thing that I think all the fans can see and appreciate is the crowds are back. Fans are back, which we love, and we always want to make sure we deliver the best ballpark experience possible, and we steal shamelessly from ideas of sporting venues all over the country, and so we're taking the entire third base concourse. That entire concession stand is being gutted into a walk-in market concept. All the same hot food offerings will be there, but it's going to be walk-in, check-out POS to where we should cut the times and line times in half. with that project. So that it's all about getting the people through so we can get you back to your seat and enjoy the game. So that's a huge change happening this year that I think is really going to benefit the fan experience.
The Reds Community Fund, you guys won a big award this week.
We've been in the finals of that for years, and so I think it was a real honor to win that award. We've got such great partners. That started with just P&G back in 2010 and then grew to be 6, 7, 8 partners, Kroger, Zoo, GE Aviation, so many others. And so much great work has been done over the years. So finally having one of those projects get recognized nationally is huge. We touch over 50,000 kids a year with the community fund efforts. We've invested just the field renovation P&G projects since 2010 over, and they grew from one field to fields with community centers and gardens and parks and all kinds of stuff. So it was a real blessing for that group of volunteers, and people do in-kind donations. We've got 7, 8 different partners. To finally have that work be recognized nationally by the league was a real honor.
We have Phil Castellini hanging out with us here again. Justin Kinner, Nick Kirby, live here at the Duke Energy Convention Center, Redsfest. And it didn't take long for the foot traffic just to make this a very busy and happening place right now. Just Redsfest in general, it's the biggest fan fest in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, well, the best fans in baseball deserve the best fan fest in baseball, and that's what we try and deliver here every year.
If you're just Phil Castellini, the Reds fan, and you're coming to Reds Fest for the first time, what is the spot that everyone needs to go check out?
Well, I always tell people the main stage we program all day, and so there's a lot of entertaining stuff. But then I think you really attack Reds Fest based on the demographic that you're bringing to the event, and we have literally something for all ages. So tons of kids' activities. We've got a great Hall of Fame booth, plenty of retail, sports bar if you want to hang out, check out the main stage, have a cold one, watch some of the other sporting stuff going on. So I think there's really something here for everybody. Poker tonight with the players. And so the idea that we are creating is a fan fest for all fans of all ages and to keep you busy all day, and plenty of wonderful things to see and do here.
All right, well, Phil, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks, Dayton. Still time to come on down, Dayton, so hope to see you. Thank you, guys.
All right, again, Justin Kidder, Nick Kirby, live here from the Duke Energy Convention Center, Reds Fest, and Phil Castellini, awesome enough to give us some time. Every year, we always kick the show off with him. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
If you like today's video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Chatterbox Sports here on YouTube for great sports content all season long. We really appreciate your support. Also recommend hit that bell up in the top right corner. That'll turn on notifications so you're notified anytime we go live. And speaking of live, we have got plenty of shows for you here on Chatterbox Sports. Let's run through some of them for you. First off, we have Off the Bench, our flagship show that is from 10 to noon, Monday through Friday, with host Tom Brenneman and a cast of characters talking all things sports with you. We also have Chatterbox Bengals. Those guys go live after every single Bengals game with instant reaction. So be sure to check that out live after every Bengals game. We have Chatterbox Clicker with Coach Kyle Caskey, former Bengals coach. That's typically on Tuesday nights. Coach Caskey breaks down film with a show that you can't see anything anywhere else like. We have Mac and JT Wednesday nights. The guys cover all things NFL. We have our newest show, Chatterbox Bearcats. That's with host Charlie Walter. Covers all things UC sports. They go live on YouTube after every UC basketball game. And then they also have the podcast called The Chatter. Charlie Walter and Houdini talking all things sports in a fun and more comedic style way. And then, of course, we also have a show I'm a part of, Chatterbox Reds. Currently during the off season, we typically do a show about once a week. Also get some more content for you. But, of course, once the season starts, we'll have podcasts after every single spring training game up for in the morning, and then live shows on YouTube after all 162 games, and podcasts always available the next morning. And lastly, be sure to check out the Chatterbox shop. That is on chatterboxsports.com. All kinds of apparel for everyone. You won't want to miss that.